Yo, what it do? What it do? What it do? We back on the dish. Hey man, All-Star break that went through. Couple of situations that went down. So we trying to see what's going on, man. And my guys, man, we be talking, we be going over some things, and whoo, it's a couple of things we got to speak about today. So I got my guy, the guru, on the side of me, Cat Five below me, and he ain't no special guest, but it's a fourth of gallon goods, aka Vic.
Is this man
What's the
even ready
guy?
for the show? What is happening down there?
Oh man. So hey, I'm not gonna sit up here and sit on this too long, but we're gonna talk about this All-Star game first, man. Um, boy, hey, I would ask you, but I'm gonna go to Vic first. I'm gonna go to Vic because we were just talking about some heat that was going on down there towards the late innings. And man, we seen some 93 octane in the air last night. So Vic, talk to us about these pictures that we seen, man, and what was
Man,
really good.
I know we'll get into it a little bit. First and foremost, the mic'd up part of the game was just fantastic. But we got a little bit to see a little bit of character from Alec Manoa. You know, the world was able to see a little bit of him, a little bit of Nestor, nasty Nestor from the Yankees, a little bit of character there with him and Trevino. But that kid, I forgot the name already, escaped me, but the kid from that came out for the Cardinals bullpen, throwing 103, three straight pitches was incredible. Like that, I remember back in the day, what, 10, 15 years ago when it used to be like 98 to 100, and we would be like, damn, now that's regular. But now you see somebody throwing 103, almost 104. It's like, oh shit, with Hunter Green for the Reds, and whoever this guy is, the first time I saw him. So, I mean, shit, I must not be 100% in the game like I thought I was,
His name
because
is Ryan
that
Helsley.
what was it?
Ryan Helsley.
Elsley, yes, yeah, that was crazy. So, um, it was a really fun night. It was a really fun two nights actually. Like I said, that mic'd up part, when Alec Manoa came in the game, I think it was the third inning. And I first texted the chat like, "Yo, this is kind of awkward," because I know, like, watch. I mean, it's the Blue Jays against the Yankees a lot. So I've seen this kid for the last 2 years, and there's some mannerisms that he has that it looks like he's one of those guys that is gonna annoy people for the next however many years he's gonna play, because he has some annoying mannerisms, and him being mic'd up, I was like, damn, this is gonna be kind of awkward. But as the inning went along, and you got to kind of hear him, and he started, actually communicating with the commentators of the game, see his character, kind of changed my mind on him a little bit, until the playoffs come around. We'll see how that goes. But the kid is definitely an energy for the Blue Jays. Like I said, high character, has an attitude, has some feistiness on the mound, and we saw that firsthand in that inning. Man, that was fantastic. Ended up being a really nice thing that they mic'd them up.
What I thought was really cool about that, and also with Nestor, is it gave us a little bit of a glimpse into the mind of a pitcher, and how they're thinking about pitch selection, and talking about where he wants to place it and everything, because you don't get that in the regular game. You just see where the ball goes, and it's not always where they're trying to. Case in point, uh, Glavin asked him. Was it Glavin? That was Smoltz.
No,
Asked
John
him
Smoltz,
for
yeah.
asked him for a back foot slider. He said, "All right, I'll give you a back foot slider." And then he hit the batter on the front foot with the slider. He said, "Oops, my bad. That was front foot."
Yeah.
but but just I love all that. It gives the fans a little more of an intimate look into baseball. And I personally I love getting a glimpse into how the ball players think, man.
No, and it's very much needed for the sport. Very much needed for the sport.
Yeah,
Right.
one of the few things that MLB introduced this year is the ump having the mic with the reviews. So I mean, think about it. The MLB does a really bad job as far as them interacting with players or letting players interact with
or just anything.
broadcasters. Anything, yeah, really. I mean, this is a glimpse into like Storm said, something that's cool. How a pitcher thinks, how a batter walks into the plate, to the dish, no pun intended. What they want to do, and I did catch a glimpse of also Nestor, how he was doing his leg kick to Alonso. How he tried doing, he held it up, came back, and then went back again. That's dope, dude. Like
That's the first time he did that one. That's the
Yeah.
first time he did that one. He said it right there. I invented that one. That one just came out.
Like seeing stuff like that is good for the game. You know what I mean? Seeing little kids getting into it and stuff like that. That's awesome. And
I love watching. Oh, my bad. I thought you were done.
No, you're good. Go ahead.
I was just saying, I love watching Nestor pitch, man. That guy does the most. He drop into a sidearm.
Right, and the thing with him is like we know he's like an overachiever, right? He doesn't have the most physical gifts, and so like you could tell like at some moments in that inning, the guys were talking to him and he didn't respond. You know what I mean? Because he's like focused, trying to process what he's gonna do next. Because that's tough. Like you're pitching and talking to people at the same time in front of millions watching you. You could tell that he was really focused in some moments there where like he probably didn't even hear what they were saying. He's like, what I gotta throw next and how am I gonna execute this pitch? And then they had both of them mic'd up so they could communicate. That's not something you see. That's not regular. Which I was listening to the Trevor Proof Chris Rose show. I don't know if you guys seen their podcast before. It's a great listen. They were talking about that they should put it on the regular season games, and I was like, I don't know. We'll see how that goes, but that was fun. That was fun.
Yeah, I don't know about regular season. That's the concentration and stuff they need to have for that. That's completely different.
It's just certain
I don't
people.
mind.
Go ahead.
I was just saying, I don't really mind the idea of pitchers and catchers having a direct link like that.
Right.
Because another thing that was kind of cool was even when the announcers weren't asking them to throw a certain pitch, half of the time Nestor was telling Trevino what he was going to throw.
Right.
Right.
That was. Well, I think that just opens up for more. Better strategy, instead of, and I get that's the whole point of limiting mound visits too, is to not have that constant talk, but I think it would be good.
And real quick, Trav, I don't know if you guys knew this, and this is, I guess, something that Nestor does do with his catchers. Roger Clemens used to give a lot of signals from the mound to his catcher as to what he wanted to throw. So there is moments where the pitcher is actually calling his game by any mannerisms, any movements that he does on the mound. And I think that Nestor actually does some things like that too. Could be, wiping his nose, grabbing his shoulder, jersey or something like that. So that is something that they do, which is great. I mean, little things like that in the game is what fascinates me for that kind of stuff.
I think just miking these players, it's just certain people that need to do it. Like how they like you got Gallo. I can listen to him be on the mic all day. He gonna say something crazy. He gonna do something crazy or whatever, but he's entertaining. But as far as the pitchers, Gallo.
Oh, when he did it in spring training?
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's gonna be out of the league soon, man.
He's just crazy like that. He's good.
I'm glad you know that.
I'm not gonna lie. I checked Twitter twice last night to see if he said anything about the shift being played in the All-Star game.
Another person I would listen to is Votto, man. Votto would be entertaining.
Him too.
And going back to the mic up. So how about Trevino coming up to the plate and he's taking the swings and he's like, I can't believe I'm a freaking all-star. This is unreal. That's like a little kid, you know what I mean? Like playing in the backyard and he's saying stuff like that. That's dope.
It was nice that again, the Yankees, he got a chance by coming up to the Yankees traded for him because the other catcher that they traded from the Twins got hurt. So they trade for Trevino. And I mean, to this point of the season now, for him to get where that, it's just a fantastic story. Like they said, he had a game-winning hit. His son's birthday, and also on Father's Day. His father told him one day he was going to be a Yankee. So like the stories, following him on Twitter that's just a tremendous story for that guy who was going to be a third string catcher, if anything. So now as a job, as the Yankee starting catcher, is all-star catcher is great. It's great stuff.
Yeah.
And especially as a guy who's not, all the way an everyday player too. He's only played like 60 games.
Now, how about the Derby? How about this guy?
Mhm.
Unreal.
But on a good note, him and J-Rod, number 40, when you good when you start just saying a number at this point. Number 44 in Seattle is very, very special.
Oh yeah.
He's almost on some junior type.
You want to hear something crazy?
What's that?
After his first 2 rounds, he had 62 home runs. After his first 2 rounds, he was already, I want to get this right, I think it was either the 5th or 6th highest career total of home run derby home runs.
So going off of that, I don't know if they did this last year. I don't even remember. Do you notice they picked up the speed on that? Remember how it used to be like where they had to hit the ball and see where it landed before the pitcher can throw another one?
That's still a rule. Just some of them followed it, some of them didn't.
Well, it looked like
especially in that last minute.
Yeah, they pumping them out.
Minute.
They pumping them out. They trying to get as many as they can in the last minute.
Yeah,
and I don't want to take.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, you go. You get it out.
I don't want to take anything away from Soto's performance. He deserved to win, but he was probably the biggest violator of that rule.
Right, and that's like, to me, I didn't like it. I thought so you have the camera angle showing one ball, and then all of a sudden you see another one cutting across the screen. Like, what the fuck is going on here?
There were a few times where dudes popped off 3 or 4 home runs in a row, and during those little streaks, you heard the crack of the bat as the other ball, before you saw it land in the stand. And then they cut to the next ball, and it's already halfway out.
They wouldn't even look at it. It wasn't even showing the batter. It was just showing where the ball landed. Oh, yeah. It's right here. Yeah, right here.
So like they speeding it up like that, like I thought it took away a lot from it. Of course, they're gonna break records if they're gonna be swinging the bat every 3 seconds. You know what I mean? Sometimes a home run lasts about 4 to 6 seconds in the air before it lands. Then you go again. You know what I mean? So, it was a great show, but it was a little too sped up. I just didn't like that idea.
Me personally, I think they should go back to the 10-out rule.
They'll never do that because there'll be a lot less home runs. At the end of the day,
but you go to see that batter though. That's the thing. It's the batter that you really want to see. Not the ball. We know the ball's gonna be over the fence. It's the batter.
I know, this is how MLB thinks, though.
I got you.
Well, then they gotta unless again, either they changed it or they didn't enforce it, like you said. They gotta enforce it. They gotta be like, all right, or maybe put 3 seconds. Boom, hit it. Because like even 3 seconds, it was literally a couple seconds later they were already swinging again. So
I think they should go back to the old format and just give them like 15 outs, 20 outs. Or hell, give them 30 or 40. Let them take 5-10 seconds between swings. 30 or 40 is too many, but you know what I mean. Like give them more, and then you still have technically speaking, the best home run hitter because everybody gets the same number. Well, a closer probably to the same number of swings.
And like Trav said, like we're there to see the actual batter and how they swing the bat. So like for the camera not to be panning to that specific hitter every swing, I didn't like it. It was just like he said, it kept shifting to the next. It's like they had 3 cameras in that one section, shifting to the next ball that was hit.
What I think would be dope is if they put them all together and then just take the top 4 that hit the most home runs to the next round, and instead of putting them against each other, and then they keep adding the home runs into the following next round. You know what I mean? Do like the top 4, then top 2 in all rounds, and then that's it.
I got you. I got you. I got you. I got you.
Yeah, that's a good one too, because it was guys that hit more home runs that ended up
Losing.
Yeah.
Right. You're exactly right. Man, we got about 15 minutes left. We finna go ahead. I'm finna put my computer on mute. I'm finna let these guys right here, these 3 guys, go at it because the information that has been put out on Juan Soto, and especially how he's been treated by his team, me personally, I think it's unfair. Dude is too talented. Dude is too good to be treated the way you are treating him. You think it's a slap in your face? He turned down $440 million. Oh, wait till he get ready to leave. That's gonna really be a slap in your face. So, again, I'm gonna put mine on mute. Y'all 3 fellas, y'all got 15 minutes to show your ass. Let these folks know what's going on with Juan Soto.
Go ahead, who want to go first? I'll bat lead off, I guess, because I started talking. Man, look, he turned down $440 million, and it wound up being that the Lerner family didn't even want to give him a plane to the All-Star game. Something's wrong there. You're talking about your young star. That was an investment all the way up to this point, and now you don't even want to invest in a plane ticket. Every single franchise always talks about not bringing the young player up early because it could ruin their career. They could put them in the wrong path. They can struggle. They could be taken down. Now you have a proven star that's 23 years old, got you a championship, made you money, put ass in seats, sells jerseys, and does about everything right that you want from a young kid to do. You turn down some money and you're going to act like that. Shame on the Lerner family, man. They messed up, and they messed up big time. Because not only does it speak about Soto and how he's going to react and what he's going to do, it's also speaking on free agents in the future, how if they do decide to go to the Nationals. Because if the Nationals do this to him, a proven star, a proven player that has done it already at 23, how will they treat anybody else? Who would want to play there? And I touched this on the previous show. If you haven't watched it, go watch it. I touched it on the side as far as the general manager and the organization goes. They lost Harper. They lost Harper for a reason. They lost him because they wanted Soto to take over. And now they're going to lose Soto because Soto said no. And instead of treating him and catering to him and wanting to give him more money, they're making him feel like an outcast. They fucked up, and they fucked up big time. And there's no fixing that, I don't think. I mean, yeah, he's not owing anything. He makes his own money. He makes good money. He can pay for his flight. That's not the point. The player's an investment. And he was an investment up until this point, right? Now that he doesn't want your money, you treat him like this, it says a lot about your organization. A lot.
Yeah, so again, the report, like Jorge said, is that they're supposedly upset that he turned down the contract. I don't know how true that is, but again, is like Jorge said, just the morals behind it. This guy's done so much for your organization at just 23 years old, and you couldn't even charter a flight for him. He had to wait 2 hours at the airport because he's got money, but he ain't got flight money. He ain't got plane money. You know what I'm saying? He ain't got his own personal plane type of money. You know what I mean? So he had to wait for a commercial flight, couple hours. He didn't get to LA until about 1:30 in the morning, LA time. You know what I mean? So, rest is important. Sleeping is important and stuff like that. And then whatever else fun he wanted to do before the home run derby. For him to still win it kind of goes to show, first of all, he's young as hell, right? So 23 years old, you can still sleep a couple hours and put on a show like he did. But I mean, again, just 440 million sounds like a lot, but these guys, again, we talked about it on the chat, they're going for that yearly salary, that yearly number. You know, everybody's going to want to go on top of the next guy. And at the end of the day, what that does is help the guys 10 years from now, 15 years from now. The prospects who are still suffering with this new bargaining agreement. You know what I mean? There's prospects that don't get the millions of dollars. They got to work a second job before they go to their game at 7 o'clock, single A, double A, triple A, and stuff like that. So, the 440 sounds like a lot, 15 years, but that's $29 million a year. Somebody's going to give them more. Somebody's going to give them more. So there's a lot to it. I want to let Josh go ahead because I could go all day about it.
So at 23 years old, there's only one player in baseball that is more valuable than Juan Soto. Just one. And it's because he does both. So you've got the second most valuable player in baseball. You let Bryce Harper walk for nothing. You traded Trey Turner and Max Scherzer for Josiah Gray and some guys we won't see for 3 or 4 more years. And then you turned around with all that money off the payroll and did absolutely nothing to help a guy that you want to turn around and sign a 15-year deal. Where's the incentive?
It sounds childish, bro. It sounds so childish. If they're really upset about that, it sounds so crazy.
It's like it's like your job, for instance, Josh, doing so much. Let's say you're getting paid $40,000. You want, I don't know, let's say 55, 60. The owner comes down to you and says 45. That's like a slap to your face. What are you gonna do? You're gonna start looking for another job. You're gonna start putting resumes out there. That's basically what Juan Soto is doing without leaving the team, because he can't leave the team. And then the team just comes back and says, nah, we're not gonna do this for you. You're gonna feel disrespected.
So supposedly Scott Boras couldn't get him a flight because that goes against agent to player rules for the Major League Baseball.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
This shit sounds so crazy.
So not only do you do nothing to ensure the future you want this guy to buy into, but then you turn around and do some petty shit like not buying him a flight to the All-Star game where he is your only representative. And you think I'm so baffled by this, not just because like you guys said, it's not like Soto can't afford even a first class ticket on his own, right? It's not that. It's you've got, as an organization, I'm willing to bet over $150 million of straight revenue, and that may even be low, that he is directly responsible for.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, I know that estimate is light because he's been there for 4 years.
Yep.
And brought him a championship. So, like Jorge said, not only are you gonna be forced to trade this man and get less than his value, but you're not it's gonna take either a decade or a change of ownership to attract any real stars to that city again. So, they're just shooting themselves in the foot all the way around. And you're probably not going to be able to trade this guy by the deadline. So now you've got a disgruntled star on the roster all year.
Yeah, and we could talk about that trade real quick with the whatever time we have left. I think about 5 minutes. Shout out to Paul Blackburn. He was the first guy. Is that his name? Oakland A's starting pitcher, who's having a fantastic year for another team that is considered very cheap. Shout out to him. He was the first story that came out in which we heard that his team did not charter him a flight out of Houston. I think they were at before the All-Star break. So Houston gets word of this, and they invite him onto their plane that is taking their players to LA. Like, how embarrassing is that?
I could be wrong about this, but I think he was flying coach too.
That's embarrassing, bro.
Yeah, that is.
Like, I can't fathom it.
We've had this conversation, and I think we even I don't remember if it was a show or we did a slide or whatever of the owners and how much money they make from the business. This is basically an investment for them. And for them not to invest in a fucking ticket is so embarrassing.
Like these teams, they should be rolling out the red carpet for these guys.
Remember, they paid the ticket. They didn't get them their flight, though. Their own personal team plane.
Yeah.
Where they could save a couple more hours and get there faster.
It's just stupid. Like,
I know them folks got private jets.
Yes, bro.
Oh, yeah.
They got like 5 probably each.
There's no way on God's green earth you got one person. You couldn't get the jet ready for him?
Bro, the of course, so the Red Sox Yankees was that's what they just, they played each other before the break. The Red Sox team plane was waiting, another team plane was waiting for the Red Sox in New York to get them to LA. And of course, the Yankees gonna have their charter flight for their players. As soon as the game was over, they was already in LA.
They already know.
Hours later.
Also, by the way, Vic, I want to, if you're available, I want to have you back on the next show because what you were saying about the minor leaguers. I know we've covered that a little bit in the past, but I want to talk about that again because Manfred said some out of pocket shit regarding.
Oh yeah,
that.
yeah.
I heard that. I heard those.
We trying to keep it short. We trying to keep it short, but real quick, Jorge, you got Soto in the background. What are the prospects you're trading that you think the Nationals would take? Forget the fact that it's the intra-division, which is going to be tough for the Mets to negotiate with them. But what would be the prospects you would send over for Juan Soto?
I don't want to get rid of Alvarez. He's too good of a player. I don't want to get rid of him. He's gonna be our future catcher. He's gonna be a stud, man.
Yeah.
I would let go of Mauricio because he plays shortstop. Lindor is there for 10 years. He's not going to see the field unless he converts to second base. We got a third baseman coming up that's really good, Brett Batty. I don't necessarily want to get rid of him because we need a third baseman too, but we'll see. And the other one that's actually making waves is Ventos. He has like 26 or 27 home runs, something like that, in Double-A. So that would be a good one to get rid of if they're gonna make the move. But I think it's gonna take more than prospects, man. I think they want to, probably a couple of MLB ready players and like 3 prospects. It's gonna take a lot.
Yeah, but when if
I was Cohen, I'd be making lowball trade offers to everybody and then just be like, and $50 million cash.
No, and I mean the thing is when they say Major League ready, they're talking about an Alvarez, bro. Like the guy that's literally, knocking on the MLB door.
Well, he's not ready yet, man. Listen, because he was a Double-A this year and he was killing it. He's at Triple-A now and he's batting 086, man. He got up there like a month ago probably. So He's struggling a little bit. Plus, his defense is not up there, man. His defense is bad, they're saying. He gotta learn how to call a game. So there's a lot he gotta learn. But Soto, he's worth it. I mean, the Mets just drafted another catcher from Georgia Tech, Parada. That's gonna be a stud. And they drafted another shortstop. Is that a coincidence? I don't know. Maybe they're just ready to call Alvarez up and have him take over in Double-A. Who knows? But they're talking a lot about that.
Yeah, I mean, you guys know that I'm that guy that likes the rookies, especially in the NFL. It's all about the rookies. It's how young you can keep your team. So I enjoy the prospect situation of the aspect of Major League Baseball. And Juan Soto, again, being 23 years old, and all the numbers that he puts up, especially his discipline. I mean, he's like the only one that I would be willing to empty out the farm, which the Yankees have a very excellent farm system that kicked off with 2 shortstops. I would ask if they could pick one of them, but if they want both, go ahead. But he's literally like the only player I'd be willing to give up both shortstops. Basically, their top 5 is excellent. A very excellent player. So, just again, the age is incredible. 23 years old. I mean, there's college players that just got drafted into the minor league system that are 23 years old. You know what I mean? So that just goes to show you how unique this situation is with Juan Soto. And I mean, he deserves to get treated better. But go ahead, Trav. My bad. I just threw it to him.
No, you good. You good. You good. I was just looking up something. But for my team, I can't do that. I can't do that.
You already kind of emptied your farm with
we did that last year.
Yeah.
We did that. We kind of emptied the clip to win it last year. The position that he plays, we got a guy that does basically the same thing he does. He's just a year older.
Right.
My team can't trade for him unless they send the whole roster.
I didn't want to say anything. I didn't want to say anything, Josh. So, I wanted you to say something.
I mean, the teams.
The whole roster, and I hope they can send that deferred Griffey money too.
Nah. Dude, I see. Was that you that posted it, or somebody posted that Ken Griffey Jr. was the 8th highest paid Red?
I didn't.
Ninth highest, sir.
Bro, he's making fun of Jorge because they still paying what's his face?
Bobby Bo, and
they over here still paying fucking Griffey. Come on, man. What are we talking about here?
Hey, Griffey retired like 15 years later than Bonilla.
Hey, I wouldn't even talk shit, Vic, because y'all paying that significant still that y'all got from Boston and didn't pan out.
Johnny Damon?
Huh?
Oh, Ellsbury,
yeah. Hey, so listen to this real quick before we go. The Nationals, before winning the World Series, they were valued at $1.75 billion. All right. After the winning the World Series, now they went up $250 million. That's how much Soto has brought to the team from winning that World Series. And the disrespect he's getting right now off of a fucking ticket.
Okay, they got to get it right. They just got to get it right, man. They if you're gonna do something, it's too late. It's too late. It's too late. That man shouldn't have to pull out his credit card for nothing.
That the damage is done.
It got something to do with his team.
So you saw how the Dodger fans real quick there started chanting, "We want Soto." He turned around, gave them, he had to smile because he's
they were chanting "Future Dodgers."
They got the money, man. They know what to do, man.
But the Dodgers have been so fantastic in developing prospects as well, man. It's been like they've gotten rid of guys and still got some guys that they can actually trade and help a team. Even though Keeper Ruiz was the guy that they traded for what's their names, Scherzer and the shortstop. Yeah, and he's the only one, Josh, that's actually on the MLB roster right now, but he's all right.
Well, Josiah Gray too.
Huh?
Josiah Gray.
Yep.
Oh, okay. I mean, B level maybe.
They're all right.
Gray? Anyway. I like Gray, man. But I mean, still. But the other thing, talking about another thing that just baffled me, the Nationals got rid of all those guys and held on to Ryan Zimmerman for like 40 years.
Oh my God.
Yeah. On that note, man. Ryan Zimmerman. Get the Yeah. On that note, man, I had to let my boys get off what they need to get off, man. Again, this Cat 5 down below, Vic Jr., the guru Jorge over here, man. This your boy Trav, man. This is the dish. Like, share, subscribe everywhere, 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 everywhere. So we're gonna catch up with y'all